For the Introducing Racing TV Novice Stakes over a mile, King Adamar, King of Change, both jumped smartly out of the stalls. Vasiliev and Piper Arrow are both soon prominent as they run through the first quarter of a mile. Reformed Character, So High Cardi, Deerfoot give chase to the leading quartet in advance of Pondus and Cheng Gong, with Thomas Cubitt amongst the back markers, together with Mandicello and Monsieur Lombres. It's King Adamar from King of Change as they lead the back behind them, with Vasiliev in third, Piper Arrow in fourth, but 5 lengths off the lead, and the rest 40%. Are already strung out all over Nottinghamshire as the leaders approach the entrance to the home straight. So heading to halfway, King Adamar and King of Change continue to dominate, passing the half-mile pole. 2 in front of Vasiliev, with Piper Arrow just about in touch in fourth, and they're 8 lengths clear of the chasing group, now led by Pondus, who's moved up 60% into fifth position in front of Deerfoot and the weakening Reformed Character. The leaders have only 2.5 furlongs to go. King of Change and King Adamar are the front pair. They're 3 lengths 70%. In front of the driven along Vasiliev, with Piper Arrow back in fourth and Pondus doing much the best of the rest with a furlong and a half to go. King of Change on the outside has nosed ahead of King Adamar. Vasiliev still trying hard to bridge the gap, then follows Piper Arrow with Pondus keeping on very strongly. King of Change has mastered King Adamar. Vasiliev is looking held in third, running up towards the line. It's King of Change who gets off the mark. King Adamar ran second, Vasiliev in third, Pondus a big eye catcher with Piper Arrow fifth, and they were a long way filled by Phoenix Star. Dark Shadow has just gone in, so down to the last 2. Couple more, True Hero, who's due into stall 3, and Phoenix Star, who's drawn 12. It's not been the smoothest loading procedure. True Hero, almost in. Handler emerges out the front, so Phoenix Star into stall 12 will be the last one. And he is incoming and loaded. They're off. Market in 5 furlongs to the trip for the Join Racing TV Now handicap stakes. A fairly level break with the exception of Typhoon 10, who is just a shade slow along with Phoenix Star. Repeat After Me shows early speed towards the stand side. Sandbridge Lad and Pink Iceberg are showing early speed as well, with Free Love giving chase. Enchanted Linda's right over on the far side showing speed, together with Baby Steps. Kafuk is 40%. In the front rank as they run through halfway. It's Free Love, Pink Iceberg and Kafuk from Repeat After Me. Enchanted Linda over on the far side is next. Then follows Aloysius Lilius pursuing 60%. True Heroes making headway and is going ominously well. They've got just over a furlong to go. 70%. Free Love, Kafuk, True Hero and Enchanted Linda have gone clear of the others, with Pink Iceberg weakening. It's Free Love with the advantage. True Hero now challenging for second with Kafuk, but Free Love has got the advantage and Free Love goes on to win. Tight for second between Kafuk and True Hero.
So runners beginning to sort themselves out for the first start. It's just about ready for them, and the flags go up. About they're off.
Market in play.
So Coventry City Football Club Day underway with this in excess of 2.5 mile maiden hurdle. And they make the run to the first of the scheduled 11 flights, with North Star Oscar the first to show to advantage and hops over it neatly. They've all cleared it safely enough, with a hard pulling to Goodman Luke towards the rear of the field in the very early stages as they progress their way towards the second. North Star Oscar leading to Fifth Symphony in a dark blue jacket, closest to the pace, rising at the second. And the last pair on landing to Goodman Luke, and just in front of him Robin the Zone. And there'll be about 12 lengths covering the field as they make their way on towards the third. North Star Oscar and Fifth Symphony with Fortescue and Orange Jacket jumping up well to come and dispute third, with the nose-banded favourite Be Bold in the centre. Loquacious Lady in a maroon jacket tracks them, and the Market Springer top up the fashion in the red, white and blue is out wide. Pop the Champers, red and black silk settling in midfield, and then there's a small break to the other four. I'm a Starman with a pink sleeves, racing on the inner of Hang Tough, and then Robin de Zone as they swing on in with the good man Luke at the back of the field. Completed over half a mile now, and they make the run on towards flights 4 and 5. North Star Oscar in the hands of the champion jockey, dictating here to Fifth Symphony, Dakota Boinville on the right in closest attendance, and then Be Bold, Harry Skelton in the centre. Fortescue close up, disputing fourth place on landing with top of the fashion. There was a slight error there, and a reminder for Pop the Champers as they close in on the fifth. North Star Oscar in front, allowed to run down the flight. Landed a length and a half clear. To Be Bold in the sheepskin noseband, just about putting his head into second. Fifth Symphony on the inner of Fortescue and top up the fashion wide into the next turn. They're tracked by Pop the Champers, Loquacious Lady, and then Hang Tough for the star on the cap, one off the rail. Alongside I'm a Starman, Robin de Zone is last but one, and a good man Luke out the tail. Running on an extended gallop between flights 5 and 6. North Star Oscar leading a now well-grouped field. Be Bold in the black
40%
jacket, just about second, shadowed out wide by Top Up the Fashion. Fifth Symphony in the dark silk close to the inner, rising. And just stepped at that flight as well. Loquacious Lady has begun to lose her position. She's being pushed along, dropping back into the last group of three as they turn to meet rising ground and go through the halfway point. North Star Oscar and Richard Johnson still leading up by only a half length now to Be Bold sitting in second, Top Up the Fashion third. Fifth Symphony against the rail is close up in fourth. I'm a Starman with a green cap on the move. Now racing upsides Fortescue in midfield and within about 4 lengths of the lead. In turn, followed by Robin de Zone in the hands of Paddy Brennan. The red, white and blue is wide of the good man Luke. Charlie Post has made a bit of progress. Then Loquacious Lady. Robin de Zone is being nibbled along, and Pop the Champers is now last of all as they come to the foot of the descent and turn across into the back straight. Got about a mile to travel at this point, and a further 5 flights of hurdles to jump. And North Star Oscar made every inch so far, but closely attended by Be Bold. Top up the fashion wide of a
60%.
line of 3, which closer to the rail has Fifth Symphony and the improving I'm a Starman between them. They in turn are being followed by the good man Luke, and then Robin de Zone is just about in touch with them, and Hang Tough trying to cling on to their coattails as they come to the first of flights on the far side. 5 out then. North Star Oscar still just about holding the advantage. At the other end of the field, however, Pop the Champers has dropped right out, completely tailed off, and they're just beginning to thin themselves out a little now as they go towards 4 out. North Star Oscar, Be Bold joining in though in the nose.
70%.
Fashion out wide, landing in third. Then I'm a Starman. Fortescue in the orange jacket in fifth is under a drive, and then Robin de Zone as they head towards the third last. Be Bold jumping into a narrow lead there from North Star Oscar. The leading pair being pursued by Top Up the Fashion in the hands of Harry Bannister. I'm a Starman hard at work in fourth, and then Fortescue, and Be Bold now beginning to extend the advantage as they swing for home with 3 furlongs to cover and a couple of flights to jump. It's the strong travelling Be Bold in the hands of Harry Skelton, who's readily drawn 4 or 5 lengths clear. Top Up the Fashion moving up to dispute second with North Star Oscar. They've got a bit of work to do, however, to catch the favourite, who's now shaken up for the first time on the fairly lengthy run towards the second last. Be Bold still with a clear advantage over Top Up the Fashion, and then I'm a Starman, Fortescue and North Star Oscar weakening away. Be Bold safely over the second last, 4 or 5 lengths ahead. Top Up the Fashion is sticking quite willingly to the task, inching a little bit closer. Furlong to go, 1 flight to jump. Be Bold draws to it, gets over it neatly, about 3 lengths ahead. Top Up the Fashion is still staying on, but they've only got 100 yards to cover, and Be Bold is doing more than enough to keep his rivals at bay, and Skelton gets 1 closer to the double century.
The last ahead is certainly
fully matched.
Just 3 to go. Up over a mile. Brecu Island wasn't the quickest into stride. Neither two was Clement, but they race over a mile then and taking up the running now, being ridden to do so. Estibdad taking on Ramblo for the early pace as they sort themselves out. Ad Valorem Queen in the pink and blue colours on the outside there of Hellfire, the favourite, who races in a joint fourth position there with 3 C's, the cheek piece runner, who's now relegated to fifth. Arfad behind. It's tightly grouped up in there. Puchita is next, followed by Clement and the cheek pieces, Sir Jamie. And Confreri and Brecu Island are the two that are a little bit detached. There's about maybe 10 minutes between first and last as the runners head across towards the halfway point of the race. So Estibdad and Tor Hammer Hansen making use of his stamina. Usually races over further, this horse. He leads them down the hill past the 3 furlong marker. Poised on the outside, Ad Valorem Queen with Ramblo. Then on the inner is 3 C's. Wider out then 60%. Nice toe into the race there, the red cap. Tracked by Arfad, and then comes Puchita. No move yet from Clement. Sir Jamie's under the pump towards the back of the field. 70%. And losing touch Confreri. Turning into the home straight now. 3 or 4 challenging for the lead. And it's Ad Valorem Queen that comes through. But here comes Hellfire produced down the centre for Charlie Bennett now. Hellfire the leader passing the furlong marker. And she's found plenty for pressure. Clement's moved into second place and is trying to close and is doing so. Hellfire being mowed down by Clement. Hellfire needs the line. Clement's going to get there. And got up to beat Hellfire, and there were 3 or 4 lengths clear of Arfad with Ad Valorem Queen next, and then Puchita.
Going into stall number 1, so Maud hasn't gone forward just yet, and nor has Broken Spear. These are going to be the last 2 for a good supporting conditions race.
And Maud just snaking around behind the gate. Into stall number 2. In she pops. Set.
Market suspended.
And off.
Market in play.
5 furlongs in front of them for the Watch Racing TV Now Conditions Stakes. And they came out in a level line as they run through the first furlong. It's Maud and Shining Armour and Garrus who are virtually matching strides with Broken Spear close behind. And Pocket Dynamo bringing up the rear, having gone through the first furlong and a half. Shining Armour away to the right with Garrus, and between runners Maud. 40%. Pocket Dynamo's having to be shaken up after a couple of furlongs. Broken Spear's also flat out as Garrus assumes control, approaching the final quarter of a mile. Broken Spear giving chase now to Garrus with Pocket 60%. Dynamo coming through into third. Maud and Shining Armour have both dropped away, approaching the final furlong. 70%. Garrus and Pocket Dynamo with a length between them. They've gone clear of Broken Spear. It's Garrus from Pocket Dynamo into the closing stages. Garrus under Ryan Moore, holding Pocket Dynamo. Garrus
9. My Story coming in at the back of them at present. Plenty of Butty to the 4.
Market suspended.
Jumping away in the second division of the Coventry City Football Club maiden hurdle. They jump away with around about 10 lengths covering the field. And Phoenix Song in the green and white silks, the first to show up with Plenty of Butty. They were the leading pair over the opening flight. My Story in the pearl silks was the last to touch down. And they head on towards the middle of the 3 flights in the back straight first time. Plenty of Butty and Phoenix Song racing just ahead of Cool Destination out wide in the black and yellow. Sojourn, yellow cap, landed in 4th with chief market rival Bubbles of Gold, red cap for Richard Johnson, close up in 5th. Capo lends then to Oh Michelle in a purple jacket as they cross the 3rd. Cool Destination backing off that flight, lost a bit of ground in the air. My Story, meanwhile, is held up at the back of the field, preceded by the nose bandit James St Patrick, and Caroline's Charm, another who sports a sheepskin noseband, black and gold colours, tucks away on the rail as they bear left-handed towards the straight at first time. Completing now in excess of half a mile, and Plenty of Butty and Tom Scudamore striding 2 or 3 lengths ahead of Phoenix Song. Bubbles of Gold, meanwhile, on the in and out disputing third with Sojourn, and Cool Destination, who was slow through the air at the previous flight, regathering the momentum off this steady pace to race in 5th, second from the left. Oh Michelle in the centre. Caroline's Charm held up, so too James St Patrick in a blue and orange jacket, and My Story at the back of the field as they all neatly cross out over the fourth. Relatively short run between the two flights in the home straight, and a short run in as well on the hurdles track. Plenty of butty over the fifth ahead. Slight error there from James St Patrick, knocked him back into last place. There's plenty of butty leads under the judge. Phoenix Song in a green and white jacket, wider Bubbles of Gold, the red cap, Sojourn between them. Followed by Cool Destination, Caroline's Charm in the black and gold, has just PE's past Omer Shell, purple jacket, who's now only got two behind. My Story in the pearl blue is one of them. And at the back of the field, James St Patrick in the hands of Lucy Barry. Continuing this long run to the sixth, approaching the halfway point. Plenty of butty. In the first time,
40%.
leading by a couple of lengths to Phoenix Song. Champion has got Bubbles of Gold right down on the inner red cap, hurdling fluently there. Certainly more fluently than Cool Destination, who, not for the first time, just backed off the flight a little. They turn to meet rising ground. A lot of running on the flat now to be done before they encounter the first of the hurdles in the back straight once more. Plenty of butty. Bubbles of Gold up the rail now, disputing second with Phoenix Song. Sojourn is between them, close up in fourth. Caroline's Charm in the sheepskin noseband edging a bit closer, racing up sides Omer Shell and out wide Cool Destination as they crest the rise. Couple of lengths still to the patiently ridden My Story in the hands of Johnny Berg, and still at the back of the field the nose-banded James St Patrick. Foot of the descent then, they level out and head for the last mile. Plenty of butty. Made most of the running so far. Bubbles of Gold is now angled off the inner and gets within a half length of the leader. Sojourn covering the move of Bubbles of Gold. And they round out the leading trio. Omer Shell in a purple jacket improves to go
60%.
Cool Destination and Caroline's Charm next. Phoenix Song quite quickly has begun to lose his position under pressure and has been passed by My Story in the Pearl Silks. James St Patrick remains at the back of the field, and they're going now towards 5 out. And it's here that Bubbles of Gold goes on as plenty of butty begins to fall back through the field. James St Patrick blundered in last position. My Story in the Pearl Blue continues to pick them off fairly steadily one by one as Bubbles of Gold goes towards 4 out. Only a half length up though on Sojourn, with Aidan Coleman just bustling his mount into the wings of that flight, responding with a good jump, and the leading pair now just beginning to up the ante. They've drawn 3 lengths ahead of Cool Destination. My Story improves to go fourth, but has got 5 or 6 lengths to make up on the leaders as they take the third last, and he was awkward there as well, My Story. That rather halted his momentum. So a half mile to travel. They leave the back straight. Johnson now just beginning to shake up Bubbles of Gold, and Sojourn has still to be popped the question, sitting a half length down. They're 3 lengths ahead of Cool Destination, sticking to the task under the drive from Paddy Brennan in third, and they've now drawn away from My Story. And as they round the last part of the bend, it's here that Sojourn out wide comes to serve it up to Bubbles of Gold, who, by virtue of holding the inside, still clings on to a narrow lead. And now Coleman has to get to work on Sojourn, and Dickie's asking for a little bit more from Bubbles of Gold, running on down towards the second last. In behind them, Cool Destination, keeping on in third. Bubbles of Gold at the second last, seems to have fought off Sojourn, and now Cool Destination moves into second. They've got just over a furlong to go, Bubbles of Gold, but Cool Destination is staying on very stoutly here for Paddy Brennan on the near side. Here's the last. Bubbles of Gold winged it, a little bit more fluent than Cool Destination, who's still staying on. Johnson driving away in front on Bubbles of Gold and keeping Cool Destination at bay, and Bubbles of Gold goes on to score.
Market suspended.
From Cool Destination in second. They came...
In goes Wilson, they're set,
Market
and
suspended.
away they go.
Market in play.
And Great Destiny just left the stalls a little bit awkwardly and just taking a while to find his stride then. This is a 7 furlong race, the Like Sun Racing on Facebook handicap. And immediately into stride there was Taverner, taken on there on the outside by Global Exceed. Tucking in behind then the British Lion with the red cap then of the Philly Javelin. Then on the inside comes Garth Rocket, the red and yellow. Rowayard is under restraint from Jim Crowley, just trying to get him to settle. He races in 6th place, about 4 lengths off the pace. Then 2 lengths back to Wilson, together there with the yellow and blue of Zeffirino. And still last of all,
40%.
Slow start is Great Destiny, but he's usually held up anyway. They move down then, down the side of the course. They're about at the halfway point now, with out in front still Taverner and Luke Morris chasing a quick double here at Lingfield today. Global Exceed is poised on his outside. And they're followed then by the
60%.
British Lion, together with Javelin, who's now just being pushed along by Martin Dwyer. Way Out now moves up pretty stylishly to go into 5th place as they approach the home
70%.
straight here. So just under a furlong and a half left to go here. And on the outside, Javelin's trying to throw it down to Global Exceed. Way Out's coming under pressure, but he is making some ground on the outside. Javelin is in front, though. Half a furlong left to go. Here's Way Out finishing off powerfully on the outside, but he might be running out of real estate here because Javelin is going to hang on for Martin Dwyer. Way Out in 2nd place, followed by Global Exceed, and then Zeffirino was closing in 4th.
Barry Hill's further flight.
All in. They're off.
Market in play.
Over a mile and 6 for the listed Barry
Fully.
Hills further
Match.
flight stakes. Pilaster just a little awkward coming out of
Fully.
the stalls.
Match.
Amazing Red drops in behind
Fully.
as
Match.
Ravenous and Elegiac
Fully.
cut out
Match.
the early running
Fully.
between
Match.
them. Elegiac showing just in front on the inside of Ravenous. They're tracked closely by
Match.
Pilaster,
Match.
and Amazing Red trails by a couple
Fully.
of lengths
Match.
as they race past the
Fully.
enclosures,
Match.
having gone through
Fully.
the first
Match.
quarter of a mile. So into the first turn, it's Franny Norton on board. Elegiac leading Ravenous by nearly a length, with
Match.
Pilaster
Fully.
and Ryan
Match.
Moore racing in 3rd.
Fully.
And
Match.
Amazing Red content to track his 3 rivals as they head off to race down the back straight and approach the final 10 furlongs. Elegiac
Fully.
with a
Match.
length advantage over
Match.
Ravenous,
Fully. Match.
with Pilaster now right behind,
Match.
within 2.5 lengths of the lead, and just a length and a half to Amazing Red, who continues to be weighted with as they continue their journey down the far side. 9 furlongs from home, Elegiac with Ravenous sitting on his quarters in 2nd, just over a length to Pilaster in 3rd, and 2 lengths further behind Amazing Red, who'd be less than 5 lengths off the overall leader, and they have less than a mile to cover. Elegiac with a
40%.
of a length advantage over Ravenous, just over a length to Pilaster, who continues to track them in 3rd, and Amazing Red brings up the rear, still well in touch. About 7 furlongs from home, Elegiac from Ravenous, still less than the length between them, with Pilaster tracking them on the inside, and Amazing Red still held up last of the quartet. So they're about to swing out of the back straight, less than 6 furlongs to cover. Elegiac with Ravenous still well in touch in 2nd. Pilaster is 3rd and Amazing Red in 4th. There's been no change in the order. They're inside the last 5 furlongs. They're about to make the swing into the home straight.
60%.
The Hills further flight stakes. So approaching the final half mile, it's Elegiac with Ravenous sitting 2nd. Ryan Moore now switches Pilaster off the rail to make her move on the outside of the front pair. She is closing in on them, but she's having to work to get there. Amazing Red is still well in touch as they enter the final 3 furlongs.
70%.
Elegiac from Pilaster, who now takes a close 2nd. Ravenous becoming outpaced as Amazing Red relegates him to be last of the 4. They're entering the final quarter of a mile. It's Elegiac with Pilaster having to work hard to get on terms. Amazing Red is coming with a steady run down the outside. Ravenous is beaten off. Amazing Run now moving through to threaten Elegiac. Stay in front. Pilaster is beaten in 3rd. They're inside the final 100 yards. Elegiac from Amazing Red, who's keeping on, but Elegiac will make just about all under Franny Norton.
Market
Elegiac
suspended.
from Amazing Red. Back in 3rd is Pilaster, and Ravenous was last, but not disgraced.
They're
Market
off,
suspended.
jumping
Market
away
in play.
over 2 miles, though in no great haste, and somewhat reluctantly Laxey with head bowed low leads on the run to the first of the 8 flights, being tracked by Glenn Dunn and the slightly darker of 3 pale blue sets of silks in this contest. The other end of the field, another in pale blue, Epsom Day, one of the last to land, held up with a nose-banded Sammy Bill, and Ebony's Manor out wide in a yellow jacket as Laxey crosses the second at a fairly modest tempo, lands about 3 or 4 lengths clear, with Glenn Dunn heading the chase. Don't
Fully.
Tell the Wife
Match.
in the very pale silks is just about 3rd. The odds-on favourite Elusive Bell, Sam Whaley-Coe in a brown and orange jacket in 4th, tracked by market
Fully.
rival
Match.
Newtown Boy in the dark blue and yellow. Couple of lengths then on a mission, tracked by Galtee Mountain, a white jacket in Notre Pari, and the McManus hoops on the inner. Farbir Hui with the royal blue sleeves next, ahead of Continuum and Epsom Day and the grey Oscarman. Old Abbey Bridge in the pink and white in the last group of three. And the final pair on this long run to the third are Ebony's Manor and Sammy Bill with the green cap. So drawing towards this third flight, and it's going to be Laxey under double seeking Richard Johnson, who picks up ahead, and Don't Tell the Wife rather backed off. It lingered in the air, and despite what has been a fairly steady pace, there'd be more than 20 lengths covering the field as they bear left-handed to meet Rising Grand. Laxey by a couple of lengths, tracked by Glen Dunn. Elusive Bell has now moved up to take third, tracked still by Newtown Boy in fourth, and after that error at the third, Don't Tell the Wife has dropped back into fifth position.
40%.
In advance of Galtee Mountain with a white cap reaching the highest point of the track. A 3-length break to On a Mission from Notre Pari, and wide of that pair Farbir Hui. And then Continuum in a sheepskin noseband just in advance of Old Abbey Bridge, the grey Oscarman. Epsom Day still towards the rear of the field with Ebony's Manor and Sammy Bill and Leighton Aspel at the tail. So at the foot of the downhill run, about to swing left-handed at the halfway point. On the run to the fourth, Laxey by a couple of lengths still, tracked by Glen Dunn. Elusive Bell has been keen under restraint, the odds-on favourite, tracking the leading pair, and followed all the way so far by Newtown Boy in the hands of Wayne Hutchinson, the blue and yellow in fourth. Galtee Mountain has taken fifth. Don't Tell the Wife is a little wider out.
60%.
Pari, and then Continuum in a noseband, crossing the first of the flights over on the far side. Slight error there from Oscarman towards the rear of the field. So heading towards the middle one in the back, it's four out. Laxey with Elusive Bell, the orange sleeves, joining Glen Dunn in second. Still stalked by Newtown Boy in fourth, Rising. Laxey getting in tight to that one, hitting it hard. Galtee Mountain landed in fifth, about half a dozen
70%.
lengths off the lead. And then Farbir Hui, Notre Pari making a bit of progress in the McManus hoops as they take the third last. Laxey in front still, and now they begin the run out of the back straight with a half mile to travel. Laxey pursued by Glen Dunn, Elusive Bell in third, and then Newtown Boy a couple of lengths away in fourth. Notre Pari is next, and then Galtee Mountain, and this group a little way clear as they begin the swing back towards home on the lengthy run between 3 out and 2 out. It's Laxey who has the advantage, but stalked now by Elusive Bell, who's looking threatening. Glen Dunn in third is driven along. Newtown Boy in fourth, blue and yellow under pressure. Notre Pari in behind on the white cap still travels as they run towards the second last. And now Elusive Bell on the left coming to have a crack at the front running Laxey. Here's the penultimate flight. Laxey by a half length from Elusive Bell. Newtown Boy in third. Notre Pari now shaken up, running between the final two flights. Laxey is game, but Elusive Bell has nosed ahead. Here's the last, skips over at a half length, clear in the hands of Sam Whaley Cohen. And now the mare is asked to extend, and she quickens away. Down in grade, Elusive Bell makes no mistake and lands the odds. Sees off Laxey. Plenty of promise from Notre Pari in third. Newtown Boy.
He's in, they're ready to go, lined up, and they're off.
Market in play.
7 furlongs a trip this time. The Ladbrokes home with the odd boost handicap underway. It's a tricky, competitive race, this one, and one of the first to begin. Freedom and Wheat in the pale green jacket with Winter Light in the Cheveley Park colours, red with a white sash right on the inside. Wider out, face the puck out there, the pale blue colours of Magical Wish. Close up, Shanghai Grace in the pink next to the rail in fifth. 2 lengths away then, Attainment and Jamie Spencer next. Together there with Buckingham on the inside. And Sir Victor is looking on at the back of the field, just being nudged along
40%.
by Richard Kingscote as the runners now race on over on the far side and hit the downhill stretch of the track. They're about halfway now here. And Winterlight on the inside with Freedom and Wheat on the outside. These two taking each other on as they race down towards the turn into the home straight. Face the puck
60%
out is on the outside in third. Shanghai Grey seeking the 4-timer, getting a lovely pull into the race on the rail next. Followed then by Magical Wish.
70%.
Wider then, Attainment being pulled very wide to the straight there by Jamie Spencer. Buckingham trying to find his way up the inside, but no room for him. Meanwhile, Face the Puck Out is in front, entering the final furlong, but swiftly followed up on the outside here by both Attainment together with Magical Wish. Magical Wish on the far side, Attainment on the near side. It's a great battle. They go towards the line. It's a bobber. Oh, you couldn't split the two of them. On the far side, Magical Wish and Attainment on the near side, and they drew clear of the rest of them. The judge is called
fully matched.
Thanks, Tom. Yeah, we're going to go after a fairly prompt start by the looks of things here. Obviously got to come around the open ditch in the foreground. One fence before the first turn and the uphill run. And the 7 of them coming in steadily.
Market suspended.
In the
Market
Brian
in play.
Overson Stephen Allday Perpetual Plate. This novice limited handicap, relatively short dash to the first, minor 49er out wide with the red sleeves. The first to pick up and land. They've all handled it neatly enough. And now they move into the first turn to meet rising ground. They're going to be 5 abreast for the lead with Gin Conti poking his nose-banded head through against the rail to come and seize the initiative from minor 49er, deepest of all, and then working back into Board of Trade with the red cap. Queen's present in a dark blue jacket and the grey mare Tick-Tock Boom. Break of a couple of lengths to Cuddles McGraw in the red silks. Champion jockey Richard Johnson at the back of the field on Just Minded as they reach the foot of the downhill run. So heading towards the first of the 5 fences across on the far side.
Match. Fully
Gin Conti leading up
matched
from Queen's Present.
Fully matched.
Board of Trade and minor 49er who's still got a wide trip. Tick-Tock Boom close up against the rail.
Fully matched.
And then Cuddles McGraw under Paddy Brennan last but one. And Just Minded last of the 7 strong field as they close in on the second. Plain fence before the first of the ditches, which comes up quickly. The 5 fences down the back, of course, in rapid fire. Gin Conti, rejoined by minor 49. I rather ballooned it, Gin Conti. Got a reminder on touching down. Board of Trade with a red cap up between the leading pair, crossing the ditch, and again Gin Conti giving it plenty of daylight, and minor 49 are shading the advantage with Board of Trade as they take the middle one on the back. Gin Conti out jumped for third there by the grey Tick-Tock Boom, and then Cuddles McGraw. Queen's Present, who jumped off handily in the dark blue, was drifted back into the last pair.
Fully
to take another plain one on the far side, and she didn't jump that with much conviction either. Last the 5 fences down the back, 4 in a line virtually on landing.
Fully matched.
It's minor 49er, Tick-Tock Boom, and up between them Board of Trade underway Hutchinson. Gin Conti, who's a little bit more cautious than most of his rivals at a few fences down the back, is in 4th as they round the next turn at the end of a mile. Cuddles McGraw close up in 5th under Paddy Brennan, the red jacket. And the final 2, the patiently ridden Just Minded away to the extreme left, and Queen's Present closing in now on fence 7. And again, little separating on that occasion, 3 of them. On landing, Tick-Tock Boom.
Fully
wide
matched.
minor 49er.
40%.
Between them, another plain fence. Followed over by Cuddles McGraw and Gin Conti together. And then Just Minded and Queen's Present, not travelling with much fluency at this stage. As they head towards the judge with about 1 3/4 miles still to travel. And they remain 3 abreast for the lead. Minor 49 of the red sleeves, the grey Tick-Tock Boom. Board of Trade between them. Couple lengths Cuddles McGraw, the nose-banded Gin Conti, and then Just Minded and the pushed along Queen's Present. Here's fence 9. And again, there'll be little separating the leading trio. Board of Trade not quite as slick as either of those around him. Minor 49er and Tick-Tock Boom. Cuddles McGraw right in behind in 4th, another open ditch.
Fully matched.
Then Gin Conti, Just Minded, and Queen's Present at the back of the field detached. Circuit completed. They come to fence 11. Minor 49er and Tick-Tock Boom together. Board of Trade going back out between them. And Cuddles McGraw and Gin Conti the rail. Just Minded close up in 6th. And Queen's Present right at the back of the field, continuing to struggle on. So once more, they descend from the
60%
of the track and make the lengthy run towards the first of the 5 fences over on the far side. Up ahead, Tick-Tock Boom and Board of Trade with a red cap from minor 49er. Cuddles McGraw, red jacket for Brennan, travels strongly throughout. Gin Conti, been right around the inner under Gavin Sheehan, the nose-banded Gin Conti. And then Just Minded, Richard Johnson sitting quietly in 6th place as they swing this left-hander.
Fully.
The final mile
Fully.
of the race,
Matched.
a further 7 fences to jump.
Fully.
Board of
Matched.
Trade, tick-tock boom, just came a little wide off the bend there and slightly impeded
Fully.
the path
Matched.
of Cuddles
70%.
McGraw, Minor 49er out a little deeper. Gin Conti sticks closer to the inside, going to 7 out. Board of Trade, Minor 49er, tick-tock boom, Cuddles McGraw and Gin Conti, 2 or 3 lengths away to Just Minded. Heading on now towards the last of the ditches, 6 out coming up to them. Board of Trade, and there Cuddles McGraw overjumped and pitched on.